Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel of Chamili Devi Institute of Pharmacy, Indore. In this session, we will going to discuss about a career in pharmacy. Before proceeding, I just want to mention some objectives of this session. First of all, introduction of pharmacy and pharmacist, then history behind the pharmacy education in India, role of pharmacists at their workplace, then pharmacy associations or governments, and future of pharmacy. Pharmacy is a versatile, dynamic, growing and increasingly diverse profession, one which creates an excitement because there are so many opportunities for services. It is an age-old profession which has transformed into a hub for global healthcare and evolved as a multidisciplinary and multifaceted field in recent times. With the phenomenal rate of advances in the pharmaceutical industry, the health sector has thrown open a sea of opportunities for pharmacy professionals. So, who are pharmacists? They are healthcare professionals whose professional responsibilities include seeking to ensure that people derive maximum therapeutic benefits from their treatments with medicines. This requires them to keep abreast of developments and advances in knowledge and technology related to manufacture and use of medicine, professional standard requirements, laws governing pharmacy, etc. Pharmacists work in wide variety of healthcare settings in pharmaceutical industries, in practice settings, in academics, regulatory affairs, or clinical research. History behind pharmacy. So, traditionally, pharmacy has been known as an art and science of making medicines or drug. The word pharmacy is derived from the Greek word pharmakon, which meaning drug. The profession of pharmacy is perhaps as old as an human civilization. In the ancient periods, the physicians themselves practiced pharmacy, and it is believed that the Greek physician, regarded as father of medicines, used to make his own prescriptions or at least supervise their preparations. Apothecary is a historical name for a medicinal professional who formulates and dispenses medicines to physicians and patients. Nowadays, this role is served by a pharmacist. Like other countries, India also having a vast history of pharmacy. In India, pharmacy was a part of medicine in our Ayurvedic and Siddha system of medical practices. The physician himself was philosopher, physician, and pharmacist combined in one. Pharmacy being a very important profession, the independent government of India enacted the Pharmacy Act to control pharmacy profession as well as education system in 1948. If we are talking about pharmacy education in India, then pharmacy education has undergone significant changes in the last couple of decades. India has the unique distinction that the first pharmacy college in Asia was started in Goa, India in the year 1842 by the Portuguese. In 1932, Professor Mahadev Lal Shroff, called as the father of pharmacy education in India, has started a pharmacy college or department at the BHU, which is the Banaras Hindu University. Since then, the picture has changed drastically, and in the last couple of decades, we have seen a tremendous rise in the number of pharmacy colleges and across the country, considering the huge demand for the same. In this table, you can see college offering pharmacy education in India, how the tremendous rise in the number of seats and number of institutions between in 2 years. So you can imagine the level of pharmacy in the worldwide nowadays. Regulations of pharmacy education. Uh, Formal pharmacy education began even prior to independence. Soon after independence, the Pharmacy Act of 1948 was enacted to regulate the profession of pharmacy. So there are two types of pharmacy regulations. One of them is PCI, which is Pharmacy Council of India. It is a central body constituted under the Pharmacy Act 1948, and AICT, which is All India Council for Technical Education, which is established under the Act in 1987. The regulatory bodies lay down various norms, guidelines, standards for time to ensure that quality pharmacy education is imparted to students. Pharmacists are at their workplace. So pharmacists work in various settings like pharmaceutical industries, practice settings and other settings. In the pharmaceutical industries, they perform various tasks in the industry. In the practice settings, pharmacists perform various tasks in community and hospital like pharmacy. In other settings, pharmacist may be an academician, regulatory, in clinical research. If we are talking about pharmacists in a pharmaceutical industry, so pharmaceutical industry in India is one of the largest and most advanced among the developing countries. Besides providing employment to millions, it ensures that the essential drugs are available at affordable prices to the vast population of India. You can see here area of pharmacy industry, how this is the research and development area in which drug discovery, reverse engineering, formulation and processes development, upscaling from pilot to manufacture, troubleshooting, stability and packaging development. Then production and manufacturing area in which production and manufacture of bulk of drug and intermediate and finished medicines, vaccines and other biological products, maternity medicines, Ayurvedic medicines, diagnostic products and other medical devices. In packaging, then quality control, which is the area for product testing throughout the life cycle of the drug and finished product. Then quality assurance department, which preparing, reviewing and submitting documents. Then sales and marketing area, which is strategic planning, team management and marketing of pharmaceuticals and working as a medical representatives or MR. Then regulatory affairs. In this department, preparing, reviewing, communicating, submitting registrations document on pharmaceuticals to regulate agency to get R&D testings, production and marketing approvals and issue related to the patent. Now the role of pharmacist in a practice setting. So pharmacists form a vital link between the doctors, nurses and the patients. They are an important component of the healthcare team. The ultimate goal of this team is which patient welfare. Practice settings having three categories for the pharmacist work. This is community pharmacy, hospital pharmacy, clinical pharmacy. Community pharmacy or retail pharmacy is like medical store, chemist or druggist. They are having vital role or their jobs, like they can start their own pharmacy, managing inventory and storage of the medicines and allied products, prescription handling, checking for correctness and safety, dispensing of medicines, patient counseling or demonstration of medical devices, maintaining patient medication record, health promotions like disease prevention and nutritional advices, doing screening tests like blood pressure, blood sugar, height, weight, pit flow, etc., and responding to symptoms and recommending medicines for simple alignments. Now, second one is hospital pharmacy. In this category, in private hospitals, public hospitals, primary health centers, district hospitals, tertiary and teaching hospitals, or other public sectors, their role is medicine selection, managing inventory and storage of medicines and allied products, small scale manufacturing, compounding sterile supplies, dispensing of medicines, patient counseling, health promotions, and taking part in the national health programs. And other than that is clinical pharmacy, which is in a patient care setting, both in hospitals and community pharmacy. Their role is prevention from adverse drug reaction, detection and monitoring, reducing drug interaction and drug related problems, taking patient medications history, taking patient in ward rounds along with doctor and nurses, and providing drug information. Pharmacists also work in other settings like academics, regulatory, and clinical research. If we highlight academics, then pharmacists as a teacher have various roles to play in the teaching in institutions and pharmacy colleges, teaching students and also carry out continuing upgradation and research work. Collaboration with industry and pharmacy practices settings for overall development and promotion of pharmacy. One needs to be a postgraduate in pharmacy to qualify as a lecturer, and in order to climb up the academic ladder, PhD is very much essential. Now, second is regulatory. Pharmacists work in the drug control department in various sections like CDC SCO, which is Central Drugs Standard Drug Control Organization. It is the central body in India for drug control, and each state of the country has its own drug control department. In this department, pharmacists are involved in regulating various aspects of the pharmaceutical industries and trade distribution network. Other than that is clinical research. Clinical research organizations in India are well into the playing field of clinical research worldwide. So, CRO or clinical research organizations are staffed with a highly skilled workforce, most of them armed with varied advanced technical qualifications like clinicians, pharmacologists, postdoctorates, pharmacists, toxicologists, chemists, analysts. The unique advantages of this CROs is India is their lower operational cost and fast work. There are services which is provided by CROs, which is undertaking clinical studies from phase 1 to phase 4, feasibility studies, protocol development, case report form review and designing, report writing, monitoring, bioanalytical services, quality assurance and data management, conduction of bioavailability studies, data management for global trials. So, every department needs its eligibility and course requirements. Here in the flow chart, I have mentioned various departments with their minimum eligibility criteria, as well as I have mentioned here areas of specializations for the post graduations like pharmaceutics, pharmaceutical analysis, pharmacology, pharmaceutical biotechnology, pharmacy practices, industrial pharmacy, pharmacognosy, pharmaceutical chemistry, regulatory affairs, and quality assurance. Pharmacy has its own associations like International Pharmaceutical Federation, which is FIP, Indian Pharmaceutical Association, which is IPA, Indian Pharmaceutical Congress Associations, which is IPCA. Now, the first is the International Pharmaceutical Federation. It is founded in 1912, the International Pharmaceutical Federation. It is the global federation of national associations of pharmacists and pharmaceutical scientists in official relation with the World Health Organization. Through its 122 member organizations and 4,000 individual members, FIP represents and serves almost 2 million pharmacy practitioners and scientists around the world. Other than that, Indian Pharmaceutical Association (IPA). This is the primary professional association of pharmacists in India with a member base over 10,000 spread across the length and breadth of the nation. IPA operates in India through 17 states branches and more than 33 local branches. And the last is Indian Pharmaceutical Congress Association, which is IPCA. It is federation of 5 national pharmaceutical associations. As its constituents, IPCA is the apex body, represents the Indian pharmacist working in various capacity in various disciplines and areas of work. IPCA has more than 20,000 pharmacists and its members like the IPA, IPGA, which is the Indian Pharmacy Graduates Association, IHPA, which is the Indian Hospitals Pharmacist Association, IPTI, which is the Association of Pharmaceutical Teachers of India, and AIDCOC, which is the All India Drug Control Officers Confederation. Last but not the least, what is the future behind pharmacy? So the pharmacy profession has exciting opportunities. Accessibility to healthcare and essential medicines still remains a problem. One third of the world population does not have regular access to essential medicines. Rising cost of healthcare, increased disease burden, and advent new diseases like nowadays we are facing coronavirus kind of diseases, and irrational use of medicines, non-availability of healthcare providers in sufficient numbers, especially in rural areas, are all challenges we have to overcome. So in India has a vast and growing pharmaceutical industry with the implementation of the WTO, which is the World Trade Organization, proposals on intellectual property rights. The Indian pharmaceutical industry will quickly have to increase its focus and invest more in terms of money, infrastructures and manpower on research and development of new medicines, both for the tropical diseases as well as lifestyle and chronic diseases. In the coming years, there will be an increasing demand for qualified pharmacists in all sectors like research, regulatory affairs, manufacturing, marketing, academics, clinical pharmacy or community pharmacy, and etc., both in our country as well as across the world. I am a pharmacist. I am a specialist in medications. I am companion of physician. I am counselor to the patient, and I am guardian of public health. This is my calling. This is my pride. I, Neha Trivedi, Assistant Professor of Chameli Devi Institute of Pharmacy, Indore. Thank you for watching this session.